Any preference who you'd like to see on Thursday between Vanderbilt or Texas?
No, we lost to both teams, so no preference really.
Does it feel different this time knowing that you're going to the SEC tournament, pretty much knowing that you guys are a lock to the NCAA tournament, whereas in years past you may not have had that assurance?
Yeah, I mean it's for sure different, but this is a team that's still been to the SEC championship twice that has motivation to want to win it, and so for the guys that have been here over the course of the last 4 or 5 years that have been up there and seen another team win. I think for us, it's just the motivation. We want to get right back to that. And so I know it's a little different this year, but, the motivation to win it's still up there.
Go ahead, Owen.
How well do you feel like you guys as a team are playing right now going into this SEC or postseason?
We're playing pretty good. I think you can always play better. You can always shoot the ball better. You can always get another stop. You can always get one more rebound. So I think for us, the margin's very small, but we're playing good basketball right now, and I'm excited to see where we go and who we become over the next couple weeks.
You mentioned the deep runs. What is it about this team or the way the system works that you guys have been able to make those deep runs, not just 1 year, but several years in a row?
I would say the coaches, their willingness to, continue to say positive things, their willingness to try to help us each and every day. Everybody at this time of the year, as a basketball player, as a coach, as a manager, you're so tired, you're so drained, and so it's trying to find that another gear of, can I watch a little bit more film? Can I, do a little bit more of this or that? And so I think that's what propels us sometimes over the edge.
So this is probably more of a talking point for somebody like us. But, from the 4-game losing streak to ending the season with 2 wins, Manny talked about a meeting that you guys were able to kind of flesh out and kind of get some feelings out there. Have you seen a difference in the last week of the regular season moving forward?
Yeah, for sure. I think, it wasn't a bad meeting. It's just, the players had to talk through some stuff and why we weren't, coming out victorious. And so I think everything was flushed out in the right way. I think nobody was soft to hearing the truth. And, we talk about, we're truth tellers within this organization. We're going to tell, the real stuff. And so I think everybody told the real stuff, and everybody's, back locked in and ready to go.
Have you seen a difference, like from that moment forward, you're like, all right, like that conversation worked?
I don't think there's one single thing that I could pinpoint. I would just say collectively, if you watch the games, I would say during that 4-game losing streak, our bench and like how we reacted when something good happened wasn't as vocal. I'm not saying it was bad. It just wasn't as vocal as it had been in the past. And so I think if you watch the last couple of games, you'll see that the bench is more engaged. They're calling out the other team's plays and stuff like that. And so I wouldn't say it was anything bad, but they're just small details that I think sometimes, if you're not within the organization, you won't be able to tell. But for us, it's stuff that, puts us over the edge.
How important do you feel like it was just for morale and momentum to win the last 2 headed into the postseason?
I think it's super important. You don't want to go in the SEC tournament losing. Truth be told. And so I think for us, it's just a morale booster. It's some of the guys who were maybe struggling in a slump or starting to get their legs back under them, starting to play well. And so I think for us, it was just a huge confidence boost. I'd say over the last couple practices, we've even seen guys are more engaged and stuff. And so I think for us, we just kind of have to be right where our feet are and just focus on the task at hand.
I know you said you don't have a preference between the two. You already lost to both of them, but what kind of makes either of those teams difficult?
I would say for Texas, they are one of the most talented teams in our league. I think top to bottom, if you look at the roster, they're super talented. They're well coached. And over the last couple of games, they've played really hard. And so I think Texas, they're a really good team and they're fighting for their life right now. And so I think they'll play ultra hard. And then for Vandy, I think they have a system there that truly works, and you've seen it work over the last couple months and how they've been able to upset some big teams. I think everybody has bought into the coach's system, and so both teams are playing for something really, really special, and both teams are really wanting to win, and so is everybody in the SEC tournament. But I think everybody's talking about Texas is on the bubble or stuff like that. We've been in that situation before. I know when I was in that situation, when I was hearing that, seeing that on Twitter. It's an extra motivation. Like, we have to win this game. If we don't, like, our season's done. And so for a lot of those seniors on that team, they'll play with a different level of, passion and competitiveness that won't be, some teams just can't match. And so I think both teams raise, some caution, but I think what we've done over the last couple of weeks and especially over the last 14 days, I would say prepares us for whoever we're going to play.
You mentioned how you guys want to make another deep run. Just what's the balance of, you want to go far, you want to win as much as you can, but trying not to, wear yourself out and, take a toll physically before, the rest of the postseason begins?
Yeah, I think, well, if you're going to the game saying that you don't want to give 110% everything in your tank, then Coach said it this morning, you could probably hop off the plane or the bus. We don't want to take you. I think we're going to be right where our feet are. We have a great medical staff. Everybody on the team is, has recovery stuff, so we're always going to give it 110%. I don't think there's anybody who is sitting there that's, thinking about what's next. We're thinking about what's right in front of us.
You mentioned kind of being in that situation in past years where you were on the bubble and you've made those deep SEC tournament runs. How is kind of having that experience, that a lot of y'all have really helped y'all going into this one?
I think it helps a ton. We've been to the stadium. We know how the system works. How the hotel, where the hotel is. You kind of, some people with the practices, it's a little weird because you're only on the court for like 20 minutes, so you have to be able to, as soon as that court's open, you got to be able to hit the ground running. And so I think that just the small things that we've gone through will help us this year with some of the guys who haven't been there. So I think our experience as far as doing the small things will help us a ton.
You touched on it a little bit there, but y'all have, I believe, won the most games in Nashville for the last few SEC tournaments. Just, is there something about Nashville or the Bridgestone Arena that you guys feel just comfortable playing there?
Maybe there is. I have no idea. Maybe there is something special there. But I think it's just our sense of urgency when we're in a tournament setting, and how everybody is mentally locked in, emotionally locked in, spiritually locked in, and then physically locked into, trying to get the job done. And so for us, I think we truly enjoy it. I think if you're going to go to college and play any type of sport, it's your dream to play in front of a bunch of people and play the best competition in front of the best coaches. And so I think that's what Nashville is right now. I've heard College Game Day and stuff will be there. So you're playing in, right now the mecca of basketball per se. And so I think everybody's excited. I can't wait to get there.